This is QTV News. I am Marietu Sidibe and thanks for joining us. First, the headlines. A fire severely damages parts of the Ministry of Fisheries headquarters building. President Barrow made it to Banjul on his nationwide tour, and we see the rousing welcome he received. The TRRC moves to Essau, where the Commission continues to hear evidence about the 2009 witch hunting spree, the brainchild of ex-President Jammeh. The Network Against Gender-Based Violence recently launched 16 days of activism against all forms of gender-based violence against women and girls, part of a nationwide campaign. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. Fire has ravaged the Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources building on Monday. Although no fatalities or injuries were reported and the cause of the fire remains unknown, official documents and important facilities have been destroyed. QTV's Momodu Lamin Choi was at the scene, and this is his report.
Fire and smoke engulfed almost the entire building of the Ministry of Fisheries. The inferno, according to ministry officials, began in the morning when staff were at work. Firefighters are struggling to put off the inferno, and their efforts can only rescue the least of what the ministry needs for effective service delivery. The ministry has lost what they described as confidential documents, including records of their dealings. Such a tragedy is described by the ministry's permanent secretary as the worst part of the fire outbreak. Computers, laptops, and other important facilities that are needed for proper office functions are also burnt down. Dr. Bamba Banja, the permanent secretary of the ministry, expresses his sadness over the situation, saying the ministry will continue operating, but it will be difficult to recover what they have lost.
It's going to be difficult, but we are going to struggle, and we'll make sure we continue our work as expected. The good work that we are doing, actually. We are doing a very important and very good job preparing for 2020.
It is the first day the minister and his permanent secretaries resumed work at the ministry after being away on official functions. They have lost documents containing agreements between them and their partners, and they do not have a backup system to retrieve lost items. The fire couldn't burn all official documents, as rescue of files were also going on.
Once the fire is out, we will go up and see whether we can get anything. If we can't, we are going to look at other possibilities, how we can get the office operational tomorrow. And if anybody wants to do business with us, we should be able to announce through you that we are operating from X place.
With such amount of damage, the Minister of Fisheries hopes that business will continue as plans are to be put in place to enable them continue work as quickly as possible. The cause of the fire outbreak remains a mystery to not only the onlookers, but also the victims. However, thoughts from both the minister and his permanent secretary are that the building dates back to colonial times, and it is their belief that the old nature of the building might be a contributing factor. Investigations are underway by crime scene officials of the Gambia Police Force, who are trying to collect information to know the cause of the inferno. Meanwhile, sources from a finance officer of the ministry alleged that some amount of cash for staff salary plus fuel coupons worth 90,000 have perished. It will take the ministry time to recover from what they have just suffered, and business of the ministry can be heavily affected given the impact of the damage. Momodu Lamin Choi for QTV News.
President Adama Barrow has expressed gratitude to Gambians for the rousing welcome accorded him as he returned from his constitutionally mandated tour of rural Gambia on Saturday. Aliu Cisse reports.
President Barrow returned to State House amidst a rousing welcome by thousands who lined the streets to welcome him back. The people of West Coast region gathered at the Kalaji Bridge to receive him from the people of the Lower River region. Dubbed the powerhouse, the people of the region came out in numbers leading to Abuko, where he was received by the people of the Cardiff municipality. Also in Cardiff municipality, people occupied both sides of the road to welcome him.
This is the atmosphere here in the Cardiff municipality, where Gambians have come in their numbers to welcome back the president who had embarked on a nationwide tour. It is constitutional mandate that the president must tour the country every year to dialogue with Gambians. Just as in West Coast region, here people have come there thousands to welcome the Gambian leader. As you can see on the background, people are here cheering and supporting, reaffirming their support for the Gambian leader.
The Gambian leader was received by the people of Banjul at the Denton Bridge leading to the State House. Banjulians had gathered at the arch to welcome him back to the city. President Barrow said he was thankful to Gambians for the reception accorded to him.
I was really impressed with the turnout, but I think I should seize this opportunity to thank the Gambian people, thank the entire team, my government and the people of the Gambia. If I see the entire team, the security, the media, the protocol, everybody, it was really a very successful tour. It's a constitutional one, and we wanted people to come out in their numbers to listen, so that we can dialogue with them. We see how best we can move this country forward. We cannot just stay in State House. We think that everything is okay. That's why it's consultation. We have consulted the people. We know exactly what the people want. Now, if we finish the tour, we will have a comprehensive report, and it will be a new approach towards the National Development Plan. We are really excited. The welcoming was first class. I think in the history of this country, we haven't seen something like this. The one in Banjul, very civilized one, very calm. Everybody was really committed to this cause. So we are really happy, and we thank everybody.
While in Cardiff municipality, the leader of the opposition TRRC party, Fabagar Tombong Jatta, and supporters were also on hand to welcome the president. On what this means for him, he had this to say.
We can have different opinions, but this country belongs to all of us. We cannot move this country forward if we are not united. If we are united, we are strong. Unity is strength. And definitely, the leader of the opposition party, main opposition party, to come and welcome me, embrace me and congratulate me, I think it speaks volumes. This is what Gambia is known for. Gambia is a very peaceful country. We will still call for everybody to be very, very peaceful, so that we all come together, work in the interest of this country. I cannot do it alone. I need the support of the opposition, I need the support of government, I need the support of everybody.
On Monday, the president continued his tour with meetings in Foni Kampasa, Bondali and Buyam. On Tuesday, he will hold meetings in Sibanor, Brefet and Basori. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliu Sise.
The TRRC is in Essau, North Bank region, continuing its regional public hearings on the witch hunting exercise in 2009 under the former regime. On Monday, the commission heard from 3 witnesses who narrate their ordeal with the witch doctors. Babkar C has the rest of that story.
Born and raised in Bunyadu, Aminjai was the first to appear to narrate how she lost her husband, who she said was arrested by the witch doctors, leading to his sickness and eventual death. Madam Jai said they were home having lunch when soldiers, green boys and men dressed in red entered their compound and arrested her husband and took him away. Ami said her husband returned home after 6 days with injuries on his body.
When he came with 2 injuries because he said both of his knees were injured and also where he was injected on his waist.
Aminjai said her husband never regained his health back until the day he died. Tabara Job Jao, a qualified teacher, now the stream head of Essau Lower Basic School, was next to appear. She told the commission that in February of 2009, She recalled news that witch hunters sent by Yahya Jammeh were around to capture witches and wizards. According to her, on going to the Bantaba to find out, she found people were gathered and the witch doctors dressed in red holding mirrors going round identifying those they claim were witches and wizards, whilst others went to people's houses arresting them. Tabara said the witch doctors asked her to go to the middle where other captives were standing, and later a bus was brought and they were asked to board, with more than 50 people forced inside. They crossed by ferry and were taken to Baba Job's residence in Kololi. There, they were served dinner and later forced to drink the liquid concoction.
You have already explained that you were given the liquid. Did it have any effect on you?
Between me and God, it has not done nothing to me.
However, Madam Tabara Job Jawo said since after coming back from Baba Job's residence, her fellow teachers who used to come for breakfast in her room all stopped, and one of them continued to harass her, saying she is a witch. Lamin Sise, a retired headmaster, was the third witness. He recalled the 8th of February 2009 when he received a telephone call from his father telling him that Omar Jawo, officer commanding at Barrow police station accompanied by security officers, witch doctors and the Green Youths came to the house to arrest him and the mother. He said his parents were taken to the village center. When questioned there by Sehu Jallo, he replied that he was there to rescue his parents. There, he said Sehu Jallo told him that they are operating under the orders of President Yahya Jammeh and that his parents are sick and needed treatment. Sise said he told Sehu Jallo that he can treat his parents and not Yahya Jammeh. He said Sehu then told him that his statement is an insult to Yahya Jammeh, and there, he said the soldiers, police officers and Green Youths started beating him.
All the soldiers who were around and these Green Youths, they all fell on me, beating me, hitting me, knocking me with their gun butts.
Caesar said during the incident, many, including his parents, escaped the scene, but he was cuffed and put in the bus en route to Fort Bulent. When they arrived, Caesar said Sehu Jallo took him to a room and asked him to face the wall and say his last prayers.
He was having a pistol in his hand. Then he pointed it at my neck and asked me to face the east and say my last prayer, of which I didn't.
When they released him, he said Captain Jatta, the head of the barracks in the area, came to his house to apologize for what he went through, saying he could not refuse orders to provide men to the witch hunters who were part of those that tortured him. He said when he reported to the Barrow police station the following morning, the officer in charge, Omar Jawo, wanted to take him to the State House commander, but Captain Jatta had to intervene and facilitated his release. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
The Network Against Gender-Based Violence, in collaboration with Action Aid The Gambia, recently launched 16 days of activism against all forms of gender-based violence against women and girls as part of a nationwide campaign. Mam Jara Esise reports.
This year's theme, End Sexual Violence in the World of Work, addresses a major challenge that affects women, particularly girls, in school and in their workplaces. The campaign usually takes the form of a nationwide caravan for 16 days to sensitize communities and hold advocacy meetings with central government and local government authorities to address gender-based violence issues, including sexual violence, amongst others. Millions of females worldwide are forced to work in an intimidating environment, experiencing all forms of sexual assault, which remains unreported because of fear, blame, or social or professional retaliation. Aminata Sise, a gender and a child welfare officer, says gender-based violence is a grave human rights violation and it affects women and girls more than men and boys. She added that gender-based violence has psychological and emotional effects, and young female workers are the most targeted in the Gambia.
Female workers are more targeted for sexual violence and harassment at workplace because of a combination of different factors, including conditions of work, type of work, and their low bargaining powers and vulnerability due to poverty and ignorance on the effects of sexual violence.
People have diverse opinions on sexual violence. Some argue that women's dress code sometimes fuels temptation, which triggers rape. Falusau, the national coordinator of the Network Against Gender-Based Violence, addressed people's perception on women's dress code.
People should come and abuse you, So dressing shouldn't be the justification for anybody to be abused. And we are saying that if anybody abuses anybody sexually or otherwise, or harasses anybody sexually or otherwise because of the way that person dresses, you have violated the laws of this country, and you could face penalties as a result of that.
Fanta Jatasau, a woman specialist at Action Aid Gambia, elaborates on these issues.
Domestic workers, where they've been abused sexually and physically, whether in the country or outside of the country. We have seen cases of trafficking of our young girls to other countries where they are being physically and sexually abused. We are saying to the world, and we are saying to the people who are responsible, that this has to stop.
The 16 days activism against gender-based violence was initiated in 1991 by the First Women's Global Leadership Institute as a campaign to call for the prevention and elimination of violence against women and girls. The global theme, End Sexual Violence in the World of Work, reflects the core principles of the transformative agenda for sustainable development.
You are a woman, so I felt your pain and tears burning faster than the Amazon fire. I felt your sorrow more worrying than the xenophobia of how you were made a reservoir of rape, a sex slave, a victim of gender-based violence, sexual abuse and exploitation, early marriage, female genital mutilation, castigation, discrimination. Anytime you want to speak, they shut you up not to give a narration. But young woman, speak up and speak aloud. Unveil the pain and let them out. You are not a slave of anyone, not the men, not the women, not those that believe, not those that doubt. You are not responsible for their anger, then let them for their emotional drought.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara ACC.
We will go with a short commercial break, and when we return, we hear about a significant donation of furniture to Birkam Area Council, and we also hear about a 2-day national retreat. Do stay tuned and join us after the break for these and other stories.
QCell is 10. This December, as part of our 10-year anniversary celebrations, QCell is on a giveaway spree. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and correctly answer the questions that will be posted on our social media pages every day. Or call into our Sunibus Hour radio show on Q Radio 103.3 Monday to Thursday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and stand the chance to get one of our amazing giveaways. It's going to be a great month of giveaways. QCell, a decade of innovation, a lifetime of trust.
Welcome back. You're still watching QTV News. A 2-day National Youth Retreat on Democracy and Development was organized on Friday by the National Youth Council in partnership with Konrad Adenauer Foundation. Jennifer Sonko attended the opening ceremony, and she now reports.
The 2-day retreat brings together youth chairpersons from various regions, representatives of youth groups in the Gambia, and some heads of reform institutions. The theme of the retreat is 1 million by 2021 youth participation in decision-making processes in the Gambia. The executive director of the National Youth Council, Lamin Dabo, says the convergence gives a chance to national youth committees and organizations to report and reveal their plans for the following year. He added that it will also help the council discuss the Gambia's draft constitution.
We will do one of the most important assignments to review the draft constitution and identify the gaps, and of course also recommend some of our suggestions to the Constitutional Drafting Committee. This is important for us for a few reasons. One, it's going to allow sharing of ideas, exchange of experiences, and learning from one another as young people. It will also contribute to team building and for us to enhance understanding among young people.
Marty Dakebe, a participant, spoke to QTV about the importance of the retreat.
It's untimely, and it's very important to us as an association to be part of this retreat because we will be meeting lots of our partners as well as sharing our activities and them sharing theirs with us. So the joint planning will actually help us understand how the loopholes that we have in our association, or the ones that we can use to increase our impact on the society, and be able to work together with certain organizations, see how they are doing their projects that we are not featured in our projects, or what we can share with them, and work together, continue to do the youth work.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Lamin Kamara, speaking on behalf of his minister, stressed that when youth understand, appreciate and operate within the boundaries of democracy, the narrative will change. At the end of the retreat, the participants are expected to make recommendations following their review of the draft constitution. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jammeh Sonko.
Erase Foundation, a charity NGO, on Thursday donated over $300,000 worth of office furniture to Birkama Area Council. The furniture is for a building complex under construction for the council. Bintu Jammeh reports.
Erase Foundation is a charitable organization founded by Elvin Simpson, based in the UK. The foundation has been giving support to communities and schools, including for sports and structural development, amongst others in West Coast region. The donated office furniture is worth more than $300,000 and includes 75 desks, 75 chairs, meeting tables and cupboards. Abubakar Kante, a councillor of Kato Ward, says there is a collective responsibility to make the West Coast region the best in the Gambia. He urges philanthropists to come on board to support the region's development.
It's a collective responsibility to make sure that the West Coast region and the Office Brikama Area Council deliver to the people that entrust them the position they hold. We, the politicians, has a great role to play in the development of this West Coast region that we love.
Khalifa Kante, a representative of the donor, gives a brief description of the activities Erase Foundation supports.
Through his foundation, Erase Foundation was sent to Brikama Area Council in 2007. This was a 20-foot container, and over the years he has sent many containers, in total 16 containers, 13 40-foot containers and 3 20-feet, all to support the communities, organizations, government institutions, including the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. And a few years ago, we had sent 2 containers to Gambia College.
Abdullah Baji, West Coast Region Sports Committee Treasurer, thanked Erase Foundation for their commitment in supporting the development of the community and explains future development activities in the pipeline.
We are working together to see to it that how Marakisa can be developed, because he already started building them a hall and he thinks it was very necessary. And looking at the strategic location of Marakisa in terms of sports development is surrounded by a lot of villages in Combo Central too. We have seen their performance in the zonals. It's almost marvelous. So Mr. X thought that he wants to develop Marakisa to a center whereby all the nearby villages can come and benefit into the sports development of Marakisa. So he started the project to fence their field, and within that field we will also have a wrestling area, and even in the future we will have tracks for running, which athletes can benefit a lot from.
The ERA stands for Ending Reliance and Supporting Empowerment. Bintu Jammeh, QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. A fire severely damages parts of the Ministry of Fisheries headquarters building. President Barrow made it to Banjul on his nationwide tour, and we were there to witness the rousing welcome he received. The TRRC moves to Essau, where the Commission heard 3 witnesses give evidence about the 2009 witch hunting spree, the brainchild of ex-President Jammeh. The Network Against Gender-Based Violence recently launched 16 days of activism against all forms of gender-based violence against women and girls, part of a nationwide campaign. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.